Buon, Travy!
Oh hi! What a surprise! Welcome back to The Good Life. And to me, The Good Life is always cooking with and for family and friends. And today, I have my bestie back in the kitchen.
Hello!
Hello! And it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to be making for you Baked Alaska.
What's Baked Alaska, Jennofet?
Well, I'll tell you. Baked Alaska is really neat. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's kind of an old-timey recipe. You don't really see Baked Alaska on restaurant menus that much anymore, and people don't really cook it at home, but it's so ridiculously easy and impressive, so I think you'll be bringing this recipe back to your family.
All right. Sounds good.
It is good. So let's get started. First of all, what Baked Alaska is it's like a 3-layer dessert. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making in this, although you can mold it, one big Baked Alaska, you can mold it in a bowl, invert it, and then you top it. But what we're going to be doing, the 3 layers is pound cake at the bottom, ice cream in the middle, and then you have a meringue on top. So it's like you see the meringue, when you bite into it, you've got that creamy meringue, the really cold ice cream of your choice, and then the pound cake on top. So it's just this wonderful bite in your mouth, and it's really fabulous. So today we have our ice cream of choice,
which is Publix Otter Paws. It's vanilla ice cream with chocolate-covered pecans and caramel in it.
And Tracy has already said that she tasted it a little while ago, and it's pretty fabulous. I think chocolate and caramel together with the meringue on top, which you fire or you can put under your broiler, but with that meringue almost burned flavoring, it goes really well with caramel. So this is going to be pretty spectacular. So the first thing you do, we've had the ice cream sitting out for
about 3 hours.
About 3 hours. So it's pretty liquidy. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour it into this dish, and I've got my trusty little glove on just in case I need to pat some around, but we'll see. We're going to put it so that it's about 1 inch deep. So it's going to be most of the ice cream in this container. And we're going to put this in the freezer right now, so it'll be hard enough to use a cookie cutter with. And we'll be right back in about 2-3 hours.
See you then.
Bye. Hey there, we're back for part 2. And this part is when we're going to be cutting the pound cake in about 1-inch tall slices, and then we're going to make the rounds that we're going to put in our dishes. So we happen to get our pound cake in a convenient little container here, but if you don't worry about it. You just want to take off the top round part and cut it into slices. And you can just eyeball it. So what's important is you want to take some sort of a biscuit cutter or a cookie cutter, and you want to make rounds that are going to fit inside here. And so if you have a round biscuit cutter, that's great. I don't have one right now. So what we're going to use is something that will make a nice clean cut. So this top of this glass is one thing, or even a little bit bigger, we have this. So Tracy and I are going to both cut our rounds for our glass dishes. So try to get to the edge as much as you can so you don't waste too much of it. Okay?
Mine's not as big. It's not going to be as perfect.
Which is fine.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be covered up with ice cream.
It's not coming up.
Here, there you go. Okay. Okie doke. So now we have our 4 rounds, and we're going to put them in the center of each dish. Okay, so we're back for step 3.
Ice cream.
Ice cream! So we have our solidified ice cream here, and it's about 1 1.25 to 1 inch depending on which part of the dish you're looking at. And what we're going to do is we want to make slightly smaller rounds if you have a different size cutter, otherwise use the same size. But we're going to use these glasses and try to cut our rounds. We have the chocolate covered pecans in there, so we know that they're going to get in the way a little bit, but we're just going to make our rounds and put them on top of the cake. I have a pastry scraper, and let's just see how we do here. Okay, with our pristine fingers here, Travy. Okay. Okay, welcome back everybody. We're in the final stages of our Baked Alaska, and so this is the meringue part, which is really the fun part. So what a meringue is when you take egg whites, you add sugar with the stabilizer, sometimes it's salt, sometimes lemon juice. We're using cream of tartar. So we're going to have our egg whites, cream of tartar, a pinch of salt. We're going to bring them up in our KitchenAid here. We're going to whip them to aerate them quite a bit. The cream of tartar is going to help stabilize it. And after we get not too soft, not too stiff peaks, medium peaks, we're going to add our sugar. And it's going to bring it up and look really nice and glossy. And I'll show you the results. But that's what we're going to put on top of our dessert. So Tracy's going to help us out here. Smell first.
I did.
Okay, go on. So we have 4 egg whites that I separated earlier. We have a pinch of fine kosher salt and a teaspoon of cream of tartar. So Tracy is going to turn this up to high, and we're going to beat it for about 5 minutes.
Beat it. Beat it. Dun, 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 dun.
So I'd call this a pretty good medium. This is what we're looking for. So now I'm going to put it back on, and we're going to start gradually adding the sugar. Not too fast, just slowly pour it in. Hold on. Okay. So turn it back on medium. Wonderful. So the first time we had the 4 egg whites on, we let it go for not 6 or 5 minutes, I said earlier, but we had it going for about 3.5 minutes. So it had the medium peaks, and then we added the sugar, and we had that going for about 3 minutes. But you're going to start noticing it's nice and stiff and glossy, and it's going to go really, really nice on top of our dessert. Look at that.
Lovely.
That's going to be pretty. So we will be right back with our desserts and get ready to make our pretty design on top. Okay, now we're ready to finish this off, and this is the fun part because we have our beautiful meringue, we have our desserts that are all ready to be topped off, and we have a torch. Fun part. And what's really neat about this is Tracy's never done this before. So I'm going to demonstrate the first one, and we're both going to do one at the same time after that. And
I'm nervous, folks.
so here you go. And may the best froster win. Okay, so here it goes. I'm just going to take this, and you want to seal up all the edges. So you're just going to kind of go around and just kind of make sure that you've got your meringue on top. And we're going to come back and put more meringue on, but for right now, this is what you're doing. So it doesn't have to be pretty. You just want to be sure that you don't have any holes. Piece of cake. Piece of cake.
That's on the bottom. I did 1 to her 3.
I'm not done here. Okie doke. Alrighty, so all of these are pretty much, let's use up all of the meringue. So let's see. This one could use a little bit more. Okay, so we're using up all the meringue because you really want a big mound of meringue on top. Okay. That's pretty good. And then, at this point, you start decorating it. So you just want to kind of make little points all around. Because when we use the torch in a little bit, these little points are going to turn into brown goodness, like a marshmallow that you put over the roasted fire.
S'mores.
Absolutely. So now we are ready to do the torch and get this browning of the meringue going, and it's going to be really wonderful. So again, Tracy hasn't done this before, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, she is going to do this. So we have our torch.
First I've heard of it.
Here we go. Now what you could do actually, look at that. What you could do is turn your oven on 450, and then you put all these in the oven at the same time on a cookie sheet, and in the middle part of your oven, and then you want to, doesn't it smell good? Woo! It's a little dark, but this is good. So, you can see it. Are you ready?
No.
So just do what I did, hold it back a little bit. I mean, for this flame, you'll get a feel for it, and just rotate it as you think it's necessary. And you want to get into between the peaks also. Very good. And if you think you need to brown it a little bit more, pull back and get more brown on there, so you're not getting it blackened, but you're browning it. It's turning out wonderfully.
This is not difficult at all. It seems intimidating because you're playing with fire, but it is not difficult at all.
Okie doke. So now we have these wonderful, wonderful desserts, and this is a great treat for a kid's birthday or an adult dinner party. But we're going to kick it up a notch to make it just a little bit more fabulous. Okay, so we're going to try this a third time.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah. So the first time we tried it with the torch, and perhaps maybe because I was waving the torch back and forth, it wasn't getting it concentrated hot. And then the second time we tried it with room temperature Grand Marnier, and nothing happened. So we warmed this up in the microwave for about 15 seconds, and you can see it's
Steaming.
steaming a little bit. So let's just see what happens. We put this on here. Tracy thinks the fumes are going to help out. I think I'm going to catch the kitchen on fire. So,
Yay!
woo! Woohoo! I hope you can see it. Okay, let's do this one more time, and let's have Tracy do it. So now it's Tracy's turn. Travy. Let's try to get it a little bit more diluted here.
Yay! There's fire!
Yay! Okie dokie, so we are ready to taste it for you because we want you to know how this is going to taste when you make it. So, You know what?
Excellent.
If you like roasted marshmallows, I know there's some people like Stewie out there who doesn't like marshmallows, and he's insane. But this is so good. I'm going to take one more bite just to get the real effect.
And a little ice cream and cake.
This really is not difficult, but it looks it's so impressive when you serve it to your friends. So please, get out there and try it yourself. Thanks for joining us.
Buon
And thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Buon appetito.